This is not going to be a long one. The Avs played half a game, so they get half a review. Avs lose to the Dallas Stars 2-1 to lose 3 straight games at home. The first period was just bad hockey from the Avs, all the way around, whether it was the power play not capitalizing at all, or the breakout, which, to be honest, struggled all night, even when the Avs were playing well. Dallas had an aggressive forecheck, and the Avs just could not solve it. With a suffocating defense the way the Stars were playing, it was very, very clear that the Avs were missing their high-end talent. Without Rantanen, without Landeskog, simply grinding it out and trying to earn goals that way wasn't working. Nathan MacKinnon tried. Believe me, he tried. He did just about everything he could in this game, but one man cannot beat an entire hockey team, at least not every time. And I don't think this was the worst game that the Avs have played this season. It was just a bit on the lazy side. When the breakout didn't get stopped, when they got into the offensive zone, they just didn't really create any opportunities. They settled for a lot of low percentage shots and low percentage plays. Khudobin played well in net for the Stars, but not great. And the Avs made him look like an all-star by firing pucks right into his logo. The Avs got away with a lot of mistakes in the first period, but eventually they started to add up, and as the period is winding down, Dallas finally takes advantage. There is a puck battle starting near the blue line. Erik Johnson has pinched in very, very deep, and the Avs' other 2 forwards are also extremely deep. So as this puck battle gets engaged and the Avs end up losing it, EJ comes back in and tries to assist, which is a bit risky, as if the puck gets past him, it could have easily been a 2-on-1 for Dallas the other way. But EJ does a good job to recover and turn it back into a 2-on-2, but it hasn't fixed the problem. With a puck battle going on at the blue line, neither Donskoy nor Kadri here has committed to come back and help or at least cover back on defense. So they are entirely out of the play, and the other Avs forward is lying on the ice. So when Dallas does collect it, there is no real strong back check coming. It's a straight up 2-on-2, and you're going to see the third man in is Roope Hintz, probably the one player on Dallas you really don't want to have the puck right now. Donskoy did try and get back, but he comes on the far side of the ice, leaving a ton of room for Hintz to work with. Not sure exactly why he didn't cut across. Maybe he just thought he couldn't catch him and wanted to cover the fourth Dallas Star coming in. So Hintz just walks right up the red carpet here, gets a grade A opportunity. Credit EJ initially here. He does a great job to play off both Stars players and kind of cover both as he gets into the passing lane and blocks the initial shot. As he blocks it, though, it just comes straight down and sits there. It's in a very awkward position as Grubauer doesn't really have the range to dive on top of it, so he has to just hold his ground and wait to see what Hintz does. As the play develops, you can see Grubauer goes for his poke check here, but he's really half-hearted about it. He kind of gives up halfway through, almost as if someone told him to stop doing this, but when you commit halfway and then give up, that's arguably even worse, as it opens his 5-hole wide and Hintz just puts it away. Honestly, the way they played, the Avs were lucky to get out of the first period, only down 1. In fact, it even did take a little bit of help as Dallas hit a post in the period. In the second, uninspired play kind of gave away to lack of talent. It was clear that with many of the Avs depth players moved up at least one line, things weren't quite working how they had over the first 10-11 games. Passes were off a little bit. The players weren't quite ready for that one line higher of competition. It's such a razor-thin margin, but at times it can make such a big difference. Well, except for on the power play, where they just continued to completely fall apart. And for the third time this year, they give up a shorty. Everything starts fine and dandy here. Donskoy gets through the neutral zone and even gets across the blue line before trying to feed Kadri on the far side. He just kind of throws a soft little toss here. Looks like it might hit the referee's skate, which takes Kadri a bit by surprise here. But as the play develops, you're going to see there's no fight for this puck at all from Kadri. He just lets the stick lift happen and is completely stationary. And from there, it's completely off to the races for Dallas. Guess who? Roope Hintz is the man up the ice quick, able to beat Girard as it's very awkward timing. Makar was just getting off the ice and changing out, trying to change the defenseman on the unit. Little bit of bad luck there. You can't blame Makar, as Donskoy had gained the zone entry. You can't really expect it to come back the other way. Hintz is able to walk in, and Grubauer is going to let the 5-hole go again. Starting to become a little bit of a concern just how many pucks are sneaking through that 5-hole on him. So now down to the Avs finally kind of start to find their footing after that. Pushing a little bit, trying to generate offense, getting a little bit more room to create. Ultimately, that's no excuse, though. The fact that they didn't show up for the first 25-plus minutes of the game is the reason that they did not win this game. And it was starting to look like they just weren't going to get anything done all game long. As we approached the halfway mark of the game, the Avs put it in the back of the nets, but they still managed to mess it up. A great effort by the second line here. Kadri does a good job to put pressure on in the corner, and Jost reads the play nicely to get to the opposite corner, make a good poke check himself to keep the play alive for the Avs. Really a great play all around by Jost as he finds Kadri out in front of the net as well. Kadri kind of gets forced onto his backhand in front of the net here. Does get a shot on, but not a great one. Does enough to create a rebound, though. It comes loose. Compher powering in. Does a good job to get to the puck. Just can't find a way to finish it, and as he comes through, you're going to see Kadri being smart and circling through to the clean ice, but Compher's momentum carries him out and into the net. Puck's coming loose, right to Kadri, who's adjusting to it, but the net. Clearly off the moorings here. No doubt about it. It's off it for a significant amount of time before Kadri's shot comes through, which is a great effort too, by the way. He dives for it and is able to chip it in. It just doesn't count. And that's when you start to feel like the Avs probably just don't have it in this one, except for one guy. There was one Avs player that really, truly did have it, and that is, of course, Nathan MacKinnon. The Avs would get a power play off of this weird no goal as Dallas took a couple of hooks on the way through, even if the net was on the moorings. And Nathan MacKinnon said, okay, if no one else is going to do it, I will. Clean face-off win for Kadri. We'll talk about those face-offs a little bit more in a bit. He gets it back to Makar, who just kind of hits MacKinnon with it, and MacKinnon says, you know what? Dallas gave me space. I should use that space. My pet peeve here. They give you space, use it. He does. He walks in, he picks his spot, and he just fires. It's a great shot, too, between the defenseman's legs, and somehow finds its way through both bodies screening in front. I believe it also goes off of Khudobin, but McKinnon's just insanely good, and he scores. Nathan MacKinnon just straight up broke this game. He had 18 shot attempts throughout it, and 12 shots on goal. This is the only goal the Avs scored in the game, and in total, the Avs had 39 shots on goal. So MacKinnon accounted for just shy of a third of them. He certainly brought the star power. It just wasn't enough. The one silver lining here is MacKinnon does keep his point streak going up to 13 games, so try to hold on to that at least. Honestly, Dallas pretty much clammed up for the rest of the game. They played solid defense, and the Avs just couldn't break it, and that ultimately led to the 2-1 final. The Avs would get one more power play chance at the end of the second period, but come up short, and while they did go 1 for 5 on the power play, they also gave up a shorthanded goal. And those kinds of statistics feel less than ideal. The third period was just a total slog, not a ton to say about it. Grubauer did a good job keeping the Avs in the game and not giving up that third goal, but the offense just didn't have it in them. For whatever reason, in the third period, the linesman decided to throw Kadri out of nearly every single faceoff, and I have no idea why. As with every rule, all I ask for is consistency, and I didn't see it at all with these throwouts of the circle. Kadri would take a face-off and then go and take one the exact same way the next time, but the ref just wouldn't drop the puck and then throw him out of the circle. I don't get it. If Kadri is cheating, fine, throw him out, but do it every single time, not randomly every other time. And by the looks of it, Kadri didn't understand what he was doing as he continued to do it and even began arguing with the linesman about what is he supposed to do in the circle. I'm not saying this had any effect on the outcome of the game. I don't think it did, but it's still frustrating as someone watching the game to have it held up so often just because the ref won't drop a puck. The third dragged on forever. I think Dallas seriously iced the puck probably 15 times in the period, but the Avs just couldn't capitalize. They even had a chance with 5 seconds to go in the 6-on-5. MacKinnon got a shot through, but Khudobin bodied it. and the Avs lose. Do the Avs win this game with a healthy Rantanen? Maybe. Do the Avs win this game with a healthy Rantanen and a healthy Landeskog? Yeah, I think they do. What had been great depth matchups for the first 10 games of the season has now turned into a struggle for the Avs, where in many cases they even seem overmatched. I asked for 500 hockey with Rantanen and Landeskog both out. The Avs have taken 1 of 4 points so far. A win in Arizona would do a lot to put to rest any worries about this mini skid and get them back to that 500 number. That is the end of this game video review, and head on over to thednvr.com for more of our premium content. If you want to help me out when you sign up for a membership, you can use code RUDO as the promo code. I am Rudo, and this is exactly why the Avs getting a cushion early is so big. They can afford to have a few stretches like this.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again with Nate the dog and Gabe the big. The fun isn't over yet, it is Avalanche time.